Hello, welcome back, everybody. I am your host. I am joined here with my co-host, Steven.
Hello.
We are Two Mics and Some Theories, and we're just going to continue on from the I Love You Now Die series. This is going to be part 2. So, Steven, we talked about the case. We talked about Michelle Connor, about Conrad, about some of the legal statutes. Was it right? Was it wrong? So, Doc 2 focuses more on their personal lives, both Conrad and Michelle's. So, what do you want to start with?
So much. They covered a lot in episode 2. And for it just being an hour, I'm surprised they were able to cover that much. And even then, I think they were just scratching the surface. But to start off, who do we want to start on? Let's start on Conroy. Conrad. I just put both his first name and last name together. Conrad. I think in the second episode we're introduced more to him, and we find out he had 4 previous attempts in trying to kill himself. And I think she was there for that fourth one. The fourth, and then also the final one, the fifth one, where he actually ended up doing it. But in the fourth one, I believe he gets hospitalized for a week.
Right, him and Michelle, they're texting back and forth.
They're texting back and forth, and at that point, I think he's really trying to tell her like what's going on, because I think he hadn't text messaged her in a week, and he just messages her and saying, "Oh, you don't want to know where I've been?" Kind of just trying to get her interested or intrigued. And he ends up telling her, yeah, I was in the hospital. I think he said I tried to kill myself. And at that point, he proceeds to tell her, yeah, I saw the devil. And he told me to kill everyone, or kill them all. And then I think she agreed with him and said, yeah, I see the devil too. And then they started talking about how we should be like Romeo and Juliet, and I think as a joke, but maybe there was like a little underlying thing where there was some bit of truth to it, like where he was actually really serious. But yeah, they just kind of glossed over that, and when I saw that, I was kind of like, what the hell is going on? Like, are they really not gonna dive into that? He just literally said that the devil told him to kill them all. Like, who is them all? Like, why wouldn't they look more into that? Like, he really had some issues going on.
But didn't he just say that to Michelle in private?
He did.
So who would look into it and say and question it further? He never told anyone about it other than Michelle, of course.
That we know of.
Right.
But I'm saying, like, even after his death, when they were looking into all those text messages, they looked into every other text message and every other thread. They went deep down into it. Why wouldn't they look into this one?
Well, but everything had already happened. So I think you want to allude to that he could have potentially been a mass shooter.
Yeah.
I think that's where you're going to. So could he have potentially been one? Maybe. And he told her about it, and she was going through similar circumstances that he was going through. So she's not going to question him. So who could he have been a mass shooter? Maybe. We don't know.
Yeah, we don't know. We don't know much about him other than he was unhappy and the attempts that they tell us about. But I myself just found it odd that they just kind of like, it's a big thing, big topic of discussion right now.
Wait, who do you think should have talked about it more? You keep saying that they should have brought it up. Who should have brought it up?
Like, I guess those that were in charge of like producing the documentary. I mean, I get it might have taken away from the story and where they were going, because obviously it didn't happen. This is all just speculation. But I don't know. It's like something serious. They just kind of like, they just threw in there.
Right. So in terms of the actual documentary, I think they threw that in there just to show how unwell he was, and that was it. Because they really wanted to focus on
what really happened. I get that.
On Michelle, and well, more specifically on the perception of Michelle, on how she's seen as manipulative, and she potentially caused or had a role in Conrad's death, and that's what they focused on. I'm not sure if that's what you're trying to say, or if you're trying to say maybe they should have brought it up more in the trial. The defense, or who's arguing for Conrad? That's the
plaintiff, the state, the Commonwealth is arguing for Conrad, and the defense is for Michelle.
So the Commonwealth's not going to bring that up because they're trying to paint a picture of Michelle as being the one who caused it. Yeah. So they have no reason to bring it up. If anyone should have brought it up, it should have been the defense. They should have brought it up and said, "Look, this kid was unwell." Which they did bring up some things. They brought up Conrad's past, and they were trying to argue that he would have done it regardless if Michelle was there. So they're the only people that really should have brought it up. And I'm not sure if they did, because them bringing that up just doesn't say anything other than he's unwell. And we know he was unwell because he attempted suicide before. So that's a stronger argument instead of, look, he said this. Although that is cause for concern as well.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, nothing happened. We don't know. It's all speculation. But yeah, cause for concern. And I don't know. No media outlets. Nobody really brought it up. If anything, I could go as far as saying I'm the first one to say something about it. Because everyone else is so focused on other things, on actually the story and what happened. But I just thought that was crazy. Crazy for sure.
What was more crazy was how they kept saying that Michelle wanted this attention, right? And that she did this because she wanted to be the grieving girlfriend, and she wanted to get the love and support of everyone after Conrad died. I picked that up from the first one. There's little bits and pieces that kind of alluded to that. And by the second one, the thing that shocked me was how she saw Lea Michelle's death, the famous Glee star. And a year before Conrad's death, Corey Montague had passed away by overdosing. Corey Montague being Lea Michelle's boyfriend in real life and in the show Glee.
And co-star, yeah.
Right. So I think she saw that, and it seemed like the documentary was trying to see that she was trying to copy that. You know how they said that Conrad said they wanted to be like Romeo and Juliet, or was that Michelle?
Conrad said, "Let's be like Romeo and Juliet."
However, Michelle had other plans. She wanted to be more like Lea and Corey. And when she saw, or at least what they said it was when she saw the attention Lea got, that now she wanted that attention. Now, whether she did or not, we don't know. But the documentary does do a good job of trying to make that comparison. Because there's no evidence to suggest that at all, other than the tweets.
Tweets.
Right.
That's right.
But all the tweets mean was that she was a fan and that she wanted attention.
I believe there were a few text messages too where she was word for word verbatim some of the I guess lines that the actor actually said in the show about how much she loves the other person, or I wouldn't be able to tell you what the actual text messages said, but I'm pretty sure she also used that as a script for her love life.
Yeah, Michelle was quoting Lea Michelle both in the show and in real life.
And in real life, yeah.
But that doesn't prove anything to me other than that she was a fan. it doesn't mean that she wanted Conrad to die necessarily. All it proves to me is that she was a really big fan and she wanted attention.
Mm-hmm.
And she was copying those quotes. It's like if I copy a famous line off of an action movie, that doesn't prove that I wanted to do whatever the action star did. If the action star, beat someone up and then they say a line and then I say it, doesn't mean I want to beat anyone up. I just might like the actor or be a fan of it. Or maybe it just sounds cool.
True.
But it was really weird how she was trying to make that comparison, try to make that connection with the character and what happened in her life to her life. Little strange. And didn't she... And we can't even believe if what she said really, and I think you brought it up in the first one, that she would send messages to her friends, but then she would contradict herself. So
to the same friends, just sometime like the text messages were spread out. So sometime in between those text messages and in both those text messages to the same person, she would basically contradict what she had said in any previous message.
Right. So we don't really know what's the actual truth and what's not. She's not really a reliable source of truth at all. So we can only take what she says seriously so far. What do you think? Why do you think she was trying to either make the connection, or why was she lying?
Probably be relevant of some sort. Because, I mean, if she's trying really hard to reach out for attention, to be included in specific things, I think she would frame her responses to fit some type of narrative so she can be included in whatever club or in whatever friend group conversation. She would just mold her answers so that for the possibility of being included to fit in.
Then I'm going to take it further and say, why would she want to fit in or be included or want the attention?
It's kind of one of those things where you've never had it, so it makes you want it more.
I don't know if I'd say that. Look, I'd never had a ghost pepper. And I don't want it.
Yeah, I don't know. Why would she want to be included? I mean, it might be different. We're boys, so we never had to deal with the way most girls grow up.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. Actually, I don't remember if they give us an insight to how Michelle's relationship was with her parents.
Not really.
Not like the way they did with Conrad, right?
Not at all. Well, that's because they didn't volunteer for the doc.
That's right.
So we have no idea. Which is also a little strange. Not strange, I guess there was this picture that was created by the media against Michelle.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think they wanted to how should I say it, to provoke it, to increase that anymore.
Yeah. Maybe they wanted to participate, but maybe their legal counsel advised them that they probably shouldn't, at least not now while the trial stuff is going on.
Right.
Anything they say could be used. So I don't know.
But I read this earlier. I don't know. I don't think they mentioned it in the doc. The person who created the documentary, they were the only ones that had cameras in the courtroom.
Oh.
There's nothing to do with the case or what we're talking about. It's just a interesting fact. I wanted to bring it up.
Damn, that's crazy. That explains why they have some really good clips of what's going on in the courtroom.
And I would assume that most of the pictures taken were probably from that team as well.
Probably.
Do you think Michelle was involuntarily intoxicated? Have you ever been involuntarily intoxicated?
If it was involuntary, how would I have known?
Through someone else, I suppose?
Maybe after? I don't know. I would like to think so. I think no. I would like to think that no, I have not been involuntarily intoxicated.
I have, once. As a young lad. When I saw this beautiful girl walking down the street. I was intoxicated in love.
Could you go as far as saying drunk in love?
You could. You could say that.
Did you,
You could also say that I may have been sprung.
Did you go down the street singing Beyonce?
Well, no, I'm not a single lady.
No, she has a song, Drunk in Love.
Yeah, I know.
That's why.
That's why I kept bringing up other songs.
Oh, that's right. It's right. Damn. All right.
All right, let's get serious now. So, Michelle's lawyer was trying to make the case of involuntary intoxicated, and they were specifically talking about antidepressants. How both Conrad and Michelle, they were both on antidepressants. And I think the big thing or one of the, what's it called? Art structure? Let's just say crux? The crux? I don't even know if that's the right word. But before Conrad's death, Michelle had switched from Prozac to Silaxa. So she had switched antidepressants, and the defense was trying to make this case that this switch in antidepressants heightened her inability to make good judgment, and that's when they came up with the term involuntary intoxicated. And they're trying to argue that she wasn't in the right state of mind, and when the time frame from when she was saying I love you to when are you going to do it lined up with the antidepressants. So now I'm going to ask you, do you think that was the case? Do you think that's true? Do you think that's false? What do you think?
I don't think it's a coincidence. I do think, and this is from my very limited knowledge on how these antidepressants work, but I do think the way they're manufactured isn't probably the best way. But I am giving into like all this media stuff that says pharmaceutical companies are only in it to make a quick buck. So I think they're manufactured in the easiest way and in the cheapest way. So maybe there's a way to make them where they don't have these side effects, but it just costs more. But because the manufacturing or the pharmaceutical companies want to make more money, they're not going to do it that way. But then again, that's just me talking out of my ass. I don't really know if that's how it works, but I would have to say that they do play a role. I mean, what's that one that there's that one pill that people take and they're kind of like zombies while they're on it.
Adderall?
I don't think it's Adderall.
I'm not sure what you're talking about.
The one where Roseanne Barr, when she started tweeting about that one lady.
Right.
And then she ended up saying that she was on.
I know that scenario. I just don't know the name of that.
I don't know. I can't remember the name of the pill.
Mm-hmm.
For some reason, I want to say. Damn, I don't know.
Yeah, what I was getting to is you did mention pharmaceuticals, and I'm not sure if there's a cheaper way, but I'm always very hesitant with those pills, specifically antidepressants, because the side effects sometimes are worse than what you're going through.
Mm-hmm.
A side effect of an antidepressant is suicide. If you're suicidal, I kind of look at it like a numbers game. If you're 50% suicidal and you have a pill and it helps you, but the side effect may be suicide, if it helps you, your percentage goes down. If there's a side effect, your percentage goes up. Or maybe you stay neutral. So you have a 2 in 3 chance of it being not harmful, and a 1% and a
1/3.
I should say you have a 66% chance of it doing no difference, and then a 33% chance of making it worse.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'll just stick with my 50. That's a very simplified explanation.
Yep.
Super simplified, but...
And I will tell you this, in my line of work, when I do have to deal with looking up a lot of doctors and seeing if, I guess, they would work in our benefit. A lot of times when I'm look them up, I have to look up their medical license, and I do come across quite a lot of doctors that have these blemishes on their record. And a lot of it is, when I read into it, is because they don't have the adequate knowledge, and they misdiagnose, or they prescribe the wrong drugs, or prescribe way too much. So a lot of doctors are also, I would go as far as saying, incompetent when prescribing these drugs. So that also doesn't help either.
And this is not an excuse for why either of them would have done anything, but it does play a role in trying to understand maybe why they did it, and why the time frames line up, and why she thought this way. Because the big question everyone was asking is, why would she do this? Why did she do this? Well, no one wants to ask, why was he thinking this way? Because of what happened to him, and rightfully so. But I can't really say it was just her fault, and I can't just absolve him from blame. They both played a part in it. Now, should she have done it? No, she shouldn't have sent those messages. Someone should have found out about what was happening with Conrad, but then he was secretive, and this is a super complicated case.
Very.
But the media try to make it seem like she sent the message, she told him to kill himself, he killed himself, it's her fault.
And I remember when I first heard about it, I had no prior knowledge to it. I just saw the headline saying, "Oh, girlfriend texts her boyfriend to kill himself, bullies her boyfriend into killing himself," and I was like, "Damn, what a bitch!" Right? I fell into the trap, but then obviously I don't keep up with the news. I don't follow media coverage on these things, so I forgot all about it. And it wasn't until I saw this again, I was like, oh, I kind of remember this, and I watched it, and I was like, but my pre-framed opinion on her kind of changed, and now I'm very neutral about it. I don't know which way to think. So,
and we still haven't even heard her side about it.
That's right.
So her side, maybe there's more messages. We don't know the actual conversations they had on the phone. If we had that conversation on the phone, that last one that took 40 minutes, I think that would have been the deciding factor on what happened to her for sure. Without a doubt. Because the main thing that locked her away was the message that she sent to her friend.
Months later.
And we don't even know if that's the truth. Maybe, when you're talking shit to someone, you guys are going back and forth, and let's say me, of course, because my quick mind and wit just stumps you, and then you just get burned. You walk away, head down, sobbing a little bit. Pedro got me. And then you're at home now. Everything is past. taking a shower, just trying to wash away those devastating burns. And then you're in the shower and you have a thought, damn, I should have said that. It sounds like that's kind of what she did. She let some time pass, and then maybe she had a thought, if I want more attention, maybe I could send this message, and then I can I could get more sympathetic pleas from my friends. Now they're going to try to console me and say, no, it wasn't your fault. Don't worry about it.
Could have also been the attention to Conrad was starting to die down, and maybe she was just trying to add a little bit to ignite the fuse a little bit longer.
Right, because it was months later. Yeah, complicated case. Super complicated. But I think with that, anything else?
No.
Well, sign us off.
All right, y'all. Thanks so much for listening. Let us know if we missed anything. Actually, let us know, what do you think? We really want to know. Thanks so much for listening. Like, share, subscribe. Show this to one of your friends. And we'll be back next week with another video. My name is Steven. This is Pedro. Thanks so much for watching. We're Two Mics and Some Theories. Peace.
Bye.